So, I'm back and I'm clean. I'm going to try to do this quick. I did this once, and it was like 13 minutes long. So I'm going to do it a little quicker. We're going to talk about names. My name is Amanda Dawn, and I don't know. I should have looked up the meanings, I guess, but I'll try to look those up and stick them in here somehow. Amanda is my first name, and it's the name that I go by. It's a fairly common name. I know from my age group it is. I went to school with quite a few Amandas, and I always hated that. You don't feel as unique whenever there's 3 different people in your class, and you're all named the same, But that's my name. My mom named me that from the Boston song Amanda. My middle name is Dawn, and she named me Dawn because that was the time of day that I was born. Justin's name is Justin Gabriel, and I don't know the story behind his name, but I know that he absolutely hates his middle name, Gabriel, and I don't know why he hates it so much. I think it's a pretty name, but he doesn't like it. I wish I knew why his mom named him that. But, he also had to grow up with a pretty popular name. The name Justin is pretty popular. And I went to school with quite a few people named Justin, too. So, we didn't want our children to have the names that were, the kind of names that were so popular, the fad names or whatever they are called. Not that they aren't pretty. I like the name Justin. It's just, I didn't want my kid to be one of 5 in his class with the same name, So, so when we named Noah, a lot of people think that we named him Noah from the Bible. It's just assumed because, that's where it's, I don't know if that's where it's originated from, but that's where the name is pretty popular, everybody knows about Noah, and the ark and all that. So people assume that that's why we named him that, but we didn't. That is not why we named him Noah. The movie The Notebook, and I'm actually not sure now, it's been so long ago, if the movie was out or if it was a preview I saw. But whenever I heard the name, I just adored it, and Justin liked it too. So, if you don't know, the main male character on that movie is named Noah. So that's why I like that name. So, Noah had a lot of names whenever I was pregnant with him. Very, very, very many. I can't even remember most of them now. But I'm sure they're all wrote down in his baby book somewhere because I just could not decide on what to name him. I liked so many names, and there was only one baby. I guess that's a good thing, but that's beside the point. But he had a lot of names. And the last name that I had picked out prior to Noah was Ryan, and I cannot remember what the middle name was. Maybe it was Tristan. Ryan Tristan? No, I can't remember. I'll have to look in his baby book to even be able to know. But when we came across Noah, we liked it, so that was the first name. And then his middle name is Blake, and I never knew. I think I knew a few people when I was growing up named Blake. There was a guy that went to my school when I was whenever I started the 6th grade, I started at a different school. We had moved. And the year before, there was a kid in the same class that I was in, that's name was Blake. And I never knew the kid. I know his mother and his sister now, but at the time I didn't know the kid. But he had passed away in a car accident. Him and his mom and his sister were in a car accident, and he had passed away. But whenever I started school the next year, everybody was talking about how much they missed Blake, and of course I didn't know the kid. But I think that was the first person that I ever knew that was named Blake. Not that I knew, but that I really had heard the name, and it stuck with me for some reason. I don't know why. But when we were looking for a middle name to go with Noah, Justin's mom had suggested Blake, and I immediately was like, oh yeah, we've got to use Blake, because I don't know why, I just did. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like a tribute to the kid. I never really knew him. It just was one of those names that stuck with me for some odd reason, and I decided that was a good name, and Justin liked it. So that's where Noah's name came from. And Cheyenne's, by the way, we have a really long last name, so whenever we were naming Noah, we were trying to think of a name that wasn't very long, and 4 letters, it's fairly easy. But whenever we had Cheyenne, I guess that just got completely thrown out the window. Poor thing has a long name. Her name is Cheyenne Elise, and Cheyenne never really had, like with Noah, I had a million names for him. I couldn't decide. With her, it wasn't like that. I never even picked out a name until I was about 4 or 5 months pregnant, and I had thrown around Hannah whenever I first got pregnant, before I found out if it was a boy or a girl. Actually, I wanted, and I mean, I love Cheyenne to death and wouldn't trade her for anything, but whenever I first found out I was pregnant, I wanted a boy. I didn't want a girl. Most people, I know most women, a lot of times, like if they have a daughter, they want a son for the second baby, or if they have a son, they want a daughter, you know what I mean? But with me, I wanted a boy. I thought it would be easier to have 2 boys, but, that doesn't even matter anymore, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what the baby was, and I'd thrown around Hannah when I first found out, but I wasn't really set on it, I just kind of liked the name. And then when I found out what she was, I started looking online, looking through baby names and stuff like that. And when the first time I saw the name Cheyenne, I thought, that's her name. And I told Justin, I said, I'm not even negotiating. That's her name, Cheyenne. I said, that's it. You can't change my mind. And he was like, okay, whatever. So the middle name, I think it took me a little while to pick out a middle name. And I went to school, one of my friends that I went to school with, his name was Elaine. Her middle name was Elaine. She didn't go by it, but I always loved the fact that her middle name started with an E, that her name period started with an E, because I don't know anybody really that has a name that starts with an E. It's not a very popular letter to begin a name with, I suppose. So Elaine was in my head a little. I didn't want to name her Elaine. I just liked the idea of with the E in front. And then I found Elise, and I thought that's it. But her first name has like 3 or 4, let's see, Cheyenne, 3 E's in it, and it ends in an E. So I didn't want the last letter in her first name to be an E, and the first letter in her middle name to be an E. So I changed it to A-L-I-S-E instead of E. So it's Elise with an A instead of an E. But there's no reason, really. I just like the names. I mean, it's not like meaning-wise. Like, I don't even know what their names mean. I'm sure I've looked it up, but I don't remember. But that's that. That's the names. My kitty cat's name is Alistair. And the reason I named him Alistair was from the books. The Twilight books. My favorite character's name is Alice. I know it's a cat, but I'm still going to talk about him because he's like my 3rd child. Anyways, when I had him, I thought he was a girl cat. We all thought he was a girl cat. And then about, I don't know, maybe it's 3 or 4 weeks after we got him, we realized he wasn't a girl. But by that time, he had learned his name was Alice. So we just kind of lengthened it to Alistair. And he gets called Alice more than Alistair. But when he gets in trouble, it's kind of like whenever your kids get in trouble and you say their full name. And like, you know that you're in trouble when your mom says your middle name. Alistair's kind of the same way. And whenever he gets in trouble, I say Alistair instead of Alice. And he knows he's in trouble. So funny. He has a middle name. His middle name is Cream, which is what I was calling him before I named him, because that's what color he was when we got him. He's a lot darker now. And Noah kept calling him Cream after I'd picked out Alistair, or Alice. So we named him Alice Cream because Noah kept calling him Cream. And he still remembers that too. Noah does. He still says his name is Alistair Cream. So my cat has a middle name. But anyways, I'm done. I'm going to quit rambling. I hope everybody has a good day. And I'll probably talk to you tomorrow. I'll see you later. Bye.